What's going on YouTube? I'm Nick the Tutor, and today we're here to talk about DBQs. DBQs can be some of the most frustrating parts of AP exams. So in this video, we're going to go over not only what is a DBQ, how to be successful on it, and what you can do to score better on your APs this year. So let's get into it. In AP classes, most students are focused on studying the material, doing well in class. But when that test comes, when the AP exam comes, the DBQs are oftentimes that make or break moment for you, the student out there, because that's really where you get those final few points that push you from a 3 to a 4 or from a 4 to a 5. So they're so important. Now, what is a DBQ? DBQ stands for document-based question. Basically, you read a set of documents and you have to answer questions about it. Oftentimes there's essays related to documents. This is truly a skill. It's not just mastering the content on the exam, but it's actually a skill that you can hone and master and perform better on so that you get better scores on tests and AP exams alike. Now, when it comes to APUSH and AP World, you have a set amount of time to do these questions, and what you want to do is make sure to plan things out. Most students just read the documents and rush right into writing without a plan. So step number one is you must plan out your essay. Make sure you have introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion, just so that it has a good format so the reader can really understand what you were trying to say and understand all of your points so that you can get the maximum score possible. All right, so you're gonna have 60 minutes for this task in total. So I recommend you spend 10 to 15 minutes on the documents themselves, digesting them, breaking them down, maybe annotating, doing what you need to do to really understand them, because you're going to want to include specific references to these documents in your answer. So it's so important that you actually review them. Then I would spend another few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, outlining and just figuring out your format of your essay. And that's so important. So the AP exam is going to have 7 documents and you need to review all 7 of them. And you really want to try to incorporate as many of the 7 in your essay as you possibly can. Hugely important for getting a high score. If you only reference 1 or 2 of the documents, you're probably not going to do as well. So keep that in mind. Now, I want you to also keep in mind that you don't actually need to have an immense background knowledge on the subject, because they're giving you 7 documents of information that you can draw from and utilize. So if you feel like you don't know as much about the topic as you would like, that's actually fine, because then you can just rely directly on the documents, which is going to get you more points. Now let's get into actually writing the essay. The most important part of your essay is going to be your thesis. You want to plan out your thesis. When you're planning out your essay, you want to make sure to try to write down a thesis statement. So important that you have a very clear thesis, because that will gain you more points. Students without a clear thesis are going to struggle because the essay is going to feel disjointed and disorganized. So when you're writing your thesis, you want to make sure it actually answers the prompt. You may want to restate part of the prompt in your thesis, but overall, you need to make sure that you're answering the question that you're being given. This is also a great time to start to allude to some of your best points, some of your topic sentences for each of your body paragraphs. You can weave that into your introduction. You can also weave some of it into your thesis, but overall, you need to make sure that each paragraph after your intro has a main point and its own thesis so that you really can make a strong essay and gain all the points necessary. Now, in each body paragraph, you want to reference specific documents, but what you don't want to do is just copy the text of each document. That's kind of boring. I mean, you can do that, but the better way to do it is to paraphrase and point to some better rationale as to why this document supports your argument. So sometimes just simply restating what the document says is not as helpful with that. You want to put it into your own words and make sure to connect it back to your thesis. Now, this is another great opportunity in the body paragraphs. If you do have some background information, this is a great opportunity for you to bring that in. Utilize it to bolster the arguments that you're making with the documents. Now, if you don't have that background information, once again, not a big deal. You can just leave it out and rely only on the documents. Now, one thing you want to remember to do, guys, is you want to tie back all of your points to your original thesis so it all makes sense. So each body paragraph ties back to supporting your main thesis for your essay. You're going to have a much stronger essay. You're going to reference all the documents, you're going to tie them back to your thesis, and you're going to make a lot of sense, which is going to gain you a lot of points. You lose points when they can't really figure out where you're going with something or it just doesn't make sense. Now, in a lot of these DBQs, you're talking about something that spans a number of years, like something like the Industrial Revolution, right? Lasts for decades. You want to talk about change and continuity, which is basically how things change over time. This is a great way to bring in outside information, and it's a great way to get those complexity points on your DBQs. It really shows a deeper level understanding when you can show how things changed over time. So definitely try to do that in these essays. Now, if this seems very overwhelming, don't stress out. It's one of the hardest parts of AP classes in general. If you feel like you need some help with APs or DBQs or strategizing, check out the link in the description below. We have incredible AP study guides and courses that you can watch, very affordable, so that you can study for AP exams, get better scores, and overall become a better student on DBQs. So definitely check those out. Now, the number one tip I have is you have to practice DBQs. I can tell you all the stuff that I know about DBQs right now, and that will help you improve. But the number one thing that will help you improve is practice writing them. Do practice tests for your AP exams, whether it be multiple choice or DBQ. That's the number one tip for any standardized test. Understand the format and practice, practice, practice. Now, if you do a DBQ essay and you want someone here to review it, drop a comment down below. Let us know. We'll shoot you the email. You could send over your DBQ and we'll let you know how you're doing. Best of luck to all of you on your AP exams. I know it's tough, but you will get through it. Once again, I'm Nick the Tutor. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.